Hello and welcome to our day 4. And today we'll speak about co-working space. We'll speak about hostels, hotels, and obviously coffee shops. Also about free city libraries, which can be really useful if you are working obviously in different cities when you are working abroad. So today's video obviously is much more for nomads. So for the ones who want to travel while having your dating app. If you don't travel, if you prefer to stay at home or in your city, in your town, well, it's maybe not the best day for you today, because most of what I will explain to you won't be really relevant, but still, you can still have some good tips and some good pieces of advice. So let's go into it. First, let's speak about hostels and obviously hotels. When you go abroad, in my case, it really depends of you, of the kind of lifestyle you want. In my case, I usually always prefer to have a mixed, so not always hotels, not always hostels, not only Airbnb, not only renting an apartment, having different kind of way to stay. Some people even I know some they actually want to travel and to learning the language of the country where they are. Like for instance, I would go to Japan. I would like to learn Japanese, and I would stay in a homestay from the Japanese school I'm in. And that's also an excellent way. So you have a dating app that make you a living, and also you can travel everywhere you wish. It's just the best. So let's see. Here, as you can see, it's booking. So it's one of my favorite websites to book any hotels where I want to go. If I want to go, I don't know, to Wellington, to Christchurch, or that's in New Zealand, because actually at the moment I'm in New Zealand, but you can see it's like you can go anywhere. It's really good actually. Agoda is also a really good one. Usually, although they are from the same company, I mean, what I mean by that, Booking.com and Agoda, they are now from the same group. But Agoda is still usually cheaper, and you have cashback as well, and they do flash sales. So usually when you want to have cheaper deals, Agoda is the way to go. And they're also very serious. I never had any issues with them. And I booked so many hotels and hostels with Agoda. And then you have also Trip.com. Trip.com is also really good. They are sometimes even cheaper than Agoda. So sometimes they are the cheapest. By the way, Agoda also, with Agoda, you can also book your flight tickets. With Trip.com, you can also do the same. But however, for me, usually I book my flight tickets on Google Flight. Really simple, just Google Flight. And usually I tend to buy my flight tickets directly to the airline, and not using Expedia or any third-party companies, because if you have an issue, if your flight is cancelled, it's much harder to get your money back if you use Expedia or something like that. Google Flights is the best to me for flights. I don't really like, to me, to be honest, Skyscanners and websites similar to that one, I don't know. Usually, it's always cheaper for me when I buy on Google Flights, because you can really see when you set to destination, you can see exactly the price in advance from the day. So here, let's see. You see, like you see all the price, and you can see usually in green you will have the cheapest ones. Apparently, they are not cheapest ones at the moment, but usually you would see when it's green, you have like the cheapest, and you can change. Or you see here it's green, so that means it's the cheapest, like $583. It's AUD. No, sorry, NZD. but you can see the cheapest deals when you change also the from date to the to date. So that's for the flight tickets, for the hotels, and for the hostels. You also have hostel worlds, but usually when you go to a hostel, I usually tend to book on Booking or Agoda as well. Trip.com is usually for hotels only, not really hostels. Then, I mean, again, Airbnb is also really good. Sometimes you can also just go try on Google or some local property websites to find some shared apartments. Like if you live in Dublin, for instance, you have Daftartai, and you have a lot of different property websites. And so usually they always have the share option, the share category, where you can find easily some shared accommodations. And then finally, Facebook is definitely also the best to find some shared accommodation. So shared accommodation usually is you don't have a minimum lease. You can usually you can live when you wish. And also, what is really good is that sometimes they ask, yeah, it's really good because you can leave when you want, but however, sorry about that, however, sometimes they ask you to find the person to replace you when you leave. In some places they ask you, so you have to pay a deposit, which will be the deposit for the landlord as well, and when you leave, the person who, so you have to find a person who is gonna to replace you. Usually you send again a post on Facebook. Then once you find one, he will give you the deposit, and so his deposit he will give you is a deposit you gave to the previous person who left. So it's like that, you know. You have to pay the deposit to the person who's gonna leave. Then once you want to leave, you have to the person who's gonna to replace you will give the deposit to you, and that will be your deposit. It works like that in a lot of different cities, especially in Ireland. I used to live in Ireland. I used to work actually for Daftartai, so that's why I shared with you this piece of information. But on most of the other property websites, it works also exactly the same way. And so you have also the share option to find shared accommodations really easily. It's quite yeah, it's very handy actually. So after that, the place where you want to work a bit is you have a lot of co-working space. You can also go to city libraries. That's also a really good way, especially in English countries. You don't have a lot of free and amazing city libraries in other countries. But in Canada, in the USA, I don't really know. Apparently there are, because from the people I met, there are also good city libraries, but I haven't been to the USA in city libraries, so I don't know the city libraries in the USA. But in Canada, especially in BC, in Vancouver, the city libraries are amazing. In New Zealand, in every city, the city library are also really good. Even really small city in New Zealand, well, the city library is really good. Like I went to, what's the name? Wait, map New Zealand. I will find with you because apparently I forgot the name of the city. They have amazing cities, but however, some names are harder to remember. So Auckland, and it was a bit. Where was it? A bit upper. Oops, what I'm doing now. I unzoom it. We are almost there, I believe. Oops. Wow. Apparently my computer doesn't work very well with a mouse. Let's see where it was. No, well, that's embarrassing if I can't find it. Auckland. Yeah. Take a pool. well, maybe I will go to Google. That's just a bonus actually. But I think it's nice to share with you some some libraries I've been to, and I mean in any city, in every city, libraries are just amazing in New Zealand, but also in Australia. In Australia, also in every city, they are free. You can stay for a while. Some obviously are not open on Sundays, and obviously that's a bit more annoying. But besides of this, they are usually very clean and oh, I think it was here. They are very clean and one array. Let's have a look. And yeah, you can even borrow books. You have high-speed Wi-Fi as well, and so yeah, it's just perfect. So let's see the library here. If it's that one, yes, it's that one. We are lucky. So even that, so Wanagae, it's a really small city in New Zealand. I don't even know how many people are really living there, but it's just to show you that in every city they have a really good library. How many people are living there? Well, apparently, let's have a look. And I think not many. Yeah, 54,000. So that's not a lot. And the library, I don't know if you have some photos. Normally they show it, but even there, I remember it's a really modern library, and you can stay there, walk in there, and spend a lot of time. It's really good. It's not that one, don't worry. It's so it's that one, and yeah, it's really convenient. And actually, just for the information, if you go there one day, because in my case I really love the city, they have a really nice gardens. I think it's a botanic garden, but I'm not too sure. But I mean, you know, it's about nomad in this in today's video. So obviously we speak a bit less about the dating. Oh yeah, that garden is just amazing because you have the plants are just beautiful there. It's really beautiful, and you have a lot of them in New Zealand. So yeah, I really recommend you, if you go one day there, well, just go to the garden, and of course you will love it. So to continue in our day, besides of the city library, you can also have a mixture with co-working space. Most of the co-working space you can just stay a month minimum. Some of them they ask you to stay at least 1 year. You know, you have like kind of a lease, like an apartment. But for others, you can just stay 1 month, and so it's like a gym membership. So it's per month, you know. And when you don't like it, you can just cancel it. And it's the case for a lot of co-working space. And even if you are not really sure to go there or not, most of them offer a 1 day trial, so you can really see if it's kind of your cup of tea or not. And if you don't feel it, just don't go there and try to go somewhere else. And you also have a lot of coffee shops where you can go. That's Starbucks, obviously. But I remember when I was in Vancouver, you have blends. Blends. Not all of them are open 24 hours. But at least two, and Breaka is just amazing. All of them are open 24 hours, and everybody's with a laptop. And even at 4 a.m. in the morning, there are a lot of people working with a laptop there. So it's also really good to stay there. A lot of students as well, and it's highly recommended. So it's nice to have a kind of a mixture. So to sometimes maybe if you have to work for your dating app, to go to a to a coffee shop, sometimes try city libraries, sometimes maybe co-working space, sometimes if you go to an Airbnb or a hotel, just go to the hotel, in your hotel room, maybe also to the common area. Usually there is a nice bar in every hotel, and you can stay there, just order a coffee or even nothing, because you are part of you are resident of the hotel, and no one will ask you anything. Obviously, it depends how much you outsource. So maybe you won't have much to work for your business, but still you have marketing. You have to manage a bit your teams, your outsources team, and sometimes also maybe you want to do more, especially in the beginning. You have to work more, so it's nice to have good places to work in. And finally, the co-working space. There are a lot of lists of co-working space. So that one is in Bali at the moment because I record this video in 2021. That one is closed, but it will be again opened hopefully soon. It's in Indonesia, and I'm in Bali, Indonesia, and then you have the other one, so which is Co-hub in Thailand. It's also a really good one. It might seem a bit, for some people it seems a bit expensive because obviously the price is not that cheap, especially for the in Thailand, you know, everything is cheap, but they offer a lot of things. They have food, they have the service is just amazing, and they offer a lot, and you have also a lot of different products you can use. It's nice when you choose a co-working space to check that it's open 24 hours. I mean, you have a 24/7 access. And yeah, they even have innovative membership productivity system. I don't even know what's that one, but you see they offer a lot of different things. And finally, yeah, in every country, I just suggest you to Google it and to see any co-working space nearby where you live. Like in Australia, you have a nice one which is Australia Hub. It's a really good one. I have stayed there for quite a long time. It's just amazing, and they have 24 access, and yeah, the staff is very friendly, and you pay month per month, and so you just need to give a 1 month notice when you want to leave. And you have another one. I always forget the name because it's 4 letters, I think. Co-working. Oh, I cannot type anymore. As you can see, what was the other one? It was in Adelaide, but they have one everywhere. Oh yeah, so Wotso, it's actually 5 letters, and Wotso they have one in most of the big cities in Australia, and also in what's the name? I forgot actually the name. An island in Australia, which is Tasmania. Sorry, in Tasmania, the capital of Tasmania. Wow, my brain is not working properly anymore, and even my typing, as you can see. Yeah, so in Hobart, in the capital of Tasmania, they have the Wotso as well, and that one is actually the cheapest Wotso in Australia. Apparently, Hobart is a cheap city in Tasmania. I've never been there, to be honest, but it looks amazing, and it looks much better than the Wotso. Actually, I had a day trial in the Wotso in Adelaide, and in Adelaide, the Wotso is not the best. I mean, to me, it's obviously Wotso is the cheapest co-working space if you go to Australia, but the one in Hobart, from the photos I've seen, they definitely look amazing, as you can see, and they are really cheap. Yeah, it's nice the way how they work. You know, it's chilling, and it's also pet friendly, and actually Hub Australia is also pet friendly, but your dog need to be on leash. And finally, yeah, for the accommodation, so also you can Google any accommodation nearby you. You can also go to spa. You have actually a really good spa in Rotorua, again in New Zealand. And in New Zealand, the spa in Rotorua, if you go to the spa in Rotorua, it's the Polynesia spa. And actually, if you buy the ticket in the information office, it's a bit cheaper than to buy the ticket directly to the Polynesian spa. Polynesian spa. So yeah, at the information office, it's a bit cheaper. And yeah, Polynesian spa, you can usually they open from 9 to 10 p.m. And oh no, on Monday and Tuesday they are closed. That's new apparently, maybe because of the COVID. But they used to be opened every day. And yeah, it's just amazing. If you want to brainstorm, if you want to have some idea, they also have a coffee shop there, a really nice coffee shop. And if you want to relax, trying to have some ideas, it's really good. But again, in any spa, anywhere is good. Also in Japan, you can go to some cat coffee shops where it's just amazing because you are there. If you like cats, if you are a cat person, you just go there with your laptop, you try to work a little bit, and it's nice to get ideas from those places, because when you like the environment, especially if you are a cat person and you like coffee shop, if you have cat coffee shop and your laptop, ideas will come very quickly. It will be like a flow, and then just write them, and you will have a lot of amazing ideas for your product, for your dating app. So I would suggest you to do that as well. And finally, let me see if we almost finished. Yeah, we almost finished. I will send you also the list of the co-working spaces on the resources PDF file for this video. And finally, yeah, the best is just to try a little bit of everything. So if you're not a hostel person, that's fine. Don't go to hostel. If you go to hostels, it's nice to have a co-working space, because in hostels it's good to sleep. It's really cheap. It's nice to meet people. But the problem is that if you work there, if you are busy, just get a membership of a co-working space, or if you have a lot of coffee shops around, just spend the money, because obviously a hostel is really cheap, so you can spend more money on coffee shops or co-working spaces. If you go more in hotels, you have probably not, you don't need to spend, you don't need to go to a co-working space unless you want to. You can find again a shared accommodation. It's also really cheap, and or again you can also go to a co-working space while you are at the shared accommodation, because sometimes when you are in a shared accommodation, it's, you know, people speak to you and it's hard to be focused. But try a little bit of everything. It's just nice, you know, to have a good balance. And yeah, I wish you good luck, and to see this new lifestyle will just blow away your mind. Like, it should be just amazing. Good luck, and see you very soon. Bye bye.